Hello, everybody. I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, coming to you on the Trade Talks Live. I was waiting for my introduction video. I thought, wait a minute, this is completely different. I'm going to have to put my headphones in. But if you're new here, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Hang around. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff. And, hopefully you see something in here that you see, you like, and you really enjoy. If you've been here before, thanks for being here. I have been working on YouTube now for about 7 years, and we started doing this to literally bring tradespeople more information each and every day about the industry as a whole. And as you see, I'm not alone here. I've got Squirt. This time I'm not on a ship. I'm just down the hall because I've got to jump out a few minutes early. But Squirt, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about you and then tell them about LeakPro.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Henry Wakefield, Randy Wakefield, Squirt. You're going to hear them all, and then some more, I'm sure, just because, Roger's my dad. I was a 20-year pipe fitter by trade. My whole family's plumbers, so I learned that before I even started pipe fitting. But now I do LeakPro, and we do want to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us get on here and talk trades for an hour, Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Central, 5 days a week. And LeakPro builds the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. They build two pieces of equipment. We've got the probe, which is T-handled stainless steel rod. It's real durable for that meter to the yard, to the home service. And then when you go inside, you really want that side kick. And it's a pistol grip style with an aluminum rod on it. That aluminum rod is a less dense metal, so it kind of eliminates that layer of concrete and lets you listen for the leaks that you're actually looking for. I also do a 2-day in-person training just outside of Dallas, Texas. If you want to check any of this out, you can visit www.leak-pro.com. Or you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and we can discuss it some more.
Okay, so when I first stuck my headphones in, I heard you say, "And he's my dad." You normally don't claim that. You're normally like, "I don't know who he is. I don't know why I look like him." Man.
I'll do it occasionally. I knew you didn't have your headphones in. I didn't realize you got them in already, man.
It's a crazy world that we live in. Okay, so look at this. There is so much going on solar, on AI, and investments in new things into the trades, the industry, and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here looking at this. SoftBank invests $130 million in robot-assisted solar construction. Okay, now we're not worried about AI. Let's just get robots out there to do it. But let's talk about this because this is pretty neat. Solar panel installations, which I love the idea of. I'm a lead AP. I think that solar, wind turbines, battery packs, the inverters, the whole package is something, if you're an electrical company, you should be looking at. But now I must say, don't worry about it. They're going to have robots to do all the work. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we started manufacturing things on assembly lines and creating all these machines to build things in a warehouse. Well, now we're building robots to go and build buildings and things out in the world. We were talking last week or the week before, I'd seen something where they did robots going out and setting cinder blocks on a whole home. Had a robot go out. No man had to pick up a cinder block really, except for like half of one that had fell off. I did happen to see that in the video. But you've got men that go around just verifying that it's doing it proper. Everything's plumb level square, things like that. So that's really huge. But now for solar construction, so it's going to be able to go out into the field, lay the frameworks, lay the panels, things like this. We, as humans, are just advancing so far and creating some bigger and cooler machines that do more things so we don't have to.
I'm looking through all this, and I want to find out who's doing these panels. I want to find out. I want them to come out here and install them where we can video it and we can show people. That's what I want to do. At least I'm honest about it, though.
Hey, it sounds great. Yeah.
It's not a bad deal. Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Squirt. What's up, brothers? Sorry I haven't been on. able to fully tune in. Been slammed in Phoenix, heading back to Vegas. Man, it must be nice just to bounce back and forth between Phoenix and Vegas and Vegas and Phoenix. And me and Randy are actually going to sit down here this afternoon and start booking some flights. We've got to fly into Vegas here in just a couple of weeks, isn't it?
26th, bud. Yeah, quick.
Okay. Maybe not quite a couple of weeks, but almost. So anyway, yeah, Matt, we'll reach out to you and let you know and see if you're available for dinner. For some reason, there's two places that there's some planet thing that we go to down in Vegas, and then we go eat at El Segundo Sol. So if you're in Vegas, we'll be at El Segundo Sol on the 26th at some time, probably around lunchtime. So pretty neat stuff, but thank you for being here. But Randy, I look at this and I want to reach out to these companies that are doing this and say, hey, love to get you into Wiley, Texas. Let's bring the robots out. Let's put some solar panels up. Let's plug them in. Let's make them work. Let's make my electrical bill go away. Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the message will be a little different, I'm sure.
That's it. But these robotic systems can now place and secure solar panels 50% faster than traditional crews.
Man. I mean, think about this. And look, we know robots are coming, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought is, if we can have robots install solar panels, we can have them install plumbing.
There's robots that do roofs. They pull the shingles and they lay the new ones as it goes along the line. I saw that just the other day. There's lots of robots coming.
We need to contact some of these companies and see if we can get them over here. I'd love to see that. Not just see it, love to see it and video it and do different things. So 50% faster. It makes me think of the automated trucks, because we know 18-wheelers. Anybody going to truck driving school right now, quit. Okay, quit. I was in Austin 2 days ago. I wonder if, oh man, my mind's running. I got the wrong plug. Squirt, we need to order another adapter by sea. Because right now I can plug an HDMI and a C port into here, but I can't plug this into my phone. I've got a video on my phone, literally in Austin Tuesday, called for an Uber, and it was taking them forever to find one, which South by Southwest is going on, so I completely get it. We got into an automated car, and there was no driver. It took an hour to go 1.25 miles.
Woo.
Traffic was bad, but the automated autonomous cars are not going to jump out in front of people like me in my big black truck. Now, I drove my truck down there, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a couple of margaritas. Don't want to drink and drive. Doing things the correct way. I called for an Uber. It says it'll be there in 15 minutes. It took 30 minutes.
Oof.
And actually, it may have taken longer than that. It may have taken 40 minutes. It was, because I called it at 20 till. No, I'm going 1 mile down the road. It got there at 20 after, which is also 20 minutes after my reservation.
Oof.
And then it took an hour to get 1 mile down the road because traffic was horrible. I get it. But if you're going to truck school right now, quit, because automated trucks are coming.
For sure. Lots of things are going to be automated. We're going to build more and more robots to do more things.
Okay. No, and we are. We're seeing it every day already.
Yeah, and I feel like we can do some robots to do some of the plumbing. Main things that it's not going to be able to just take over is service work, guys. If you're going in and diagnosing a problem that's going on in an existing place and fixing it or changing it to make it better, it's going to be hard for robots to take that over.
Randy, we say that, but if you'd have told me 2 years ago, heck, if you'd have told me 2 weeks ago There's robots right now that can install a roof. I'd have said, no, there's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
it's coming. All right, so let's roll into the bottom line. And I love this because this is something that's been happening for a while.
Mhm.
Tax incentives for green construction. Now, you know that I'm a lead AP, so building green is huge. I love the green buildings, certified platinum, silver, bronze, gold, all the deal. I think LEED is, and it stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. But when you look for the tax incentives, this is what is going to drive more people to build more greener buildings.
Yep.
Builders and developers are taking advantage of federal and state tax breaks for sustainable projects. The Inflation Reduction Act offers tax credits for using energy efficient materials and solar installations because there's money to be made by building green buildings. They will give you money to build with.
Yep.
And then green certified buildings can qualify for faster permit approvals in certain states. I don't know that I'd say faster because there's a little more to it, but I'm sure some states are saying, look, we've got to, it's just like anything else. If you got multiple people in the car, jump over in the HOV lane. It makes sense.
Yeah. Also, like green certified buildings can qualify for faster permit approvals in certain states too, because they are going for green things. They try to expedite that permit process and let those cruise through a little bit smoother, I guess, because you are embracing the new changes.
And that's why I said I do. To me, it'd be like the HOV lane. You know, if you got more people in your car, jump in the HOV lane, you can go faster. You look at a permit when it comes in, it says, hey, green certified. Okay, move it to the top of the list. So it does it. I can see how that'll work. All right, now we're going to roll into safety. And this is one I always worry about you. And I say that because, look, I know how you are after so many weeks or months of working overtime. You get that. And I do too. I see it sooner, so I slow down. You run right up to the brick wall. So
Yep.
mental health awareness. And look, mental health is something that it affects us all differently, but it affects us to different depths also. And when I say that, and I don't mean that bad about Squirt, but when Squirt's working overtime for a long time, he gets angry.
Yep.
Okay. And you can see it. You walk up, hey, I need you to do this. It's like, I don't want to do that. It's like, man, come on. It's I'm just asking you to pick up the hammer you dropped. But it's not quite like that. But let's talk about that because mental health awareness on construction sites is something you need to look at. And I've been a foreman and superintendent for years. Randy ran work for years. You've got to learn how to recognize things when your people need someone to talk to.
It is super important to kind of keep an eye on your guys. And when you are overseeing a lot of a crew, you've got to know each one of them. You kind of need to know their personalities, how they act on a typical basis. Because the first thing that you're going to notice is that's going to drastically change real fast when they're hitting that burnout stage. And guys, reason I want to talk about this, suicide rates among construction workers are among the highest of any industry. And it can wear you out because the deadlines, the way the projects, how fast projects move nowadays with us prefabricating, being able to sling pipe in so much faster, put buildings together so much quicker, pour concrete so much quicker also, set it up faster, things like this. It can lead to a lot of stress, long hours. Financial instability contribute to mental health struggles also. The guys that are always relying on overtime and then they're not working any or something happens and that financial just completely drops. So that's something to keep an eye out for too. And like he said, I hit that wall and it's like, look, boom, I'm done. I've got to have my time now. I need to back up and reset real quick. And that's me knowing my mental health and when I need to hit my reset and just go, look, I need a week. I need a week. Give me some time. I need some time to not think about any of this. But then you take that week and it feels like a reset for sure and a fresh start again. And that's big.
You know, in me, I think my body helps me recognize when I'm getting to that point. And I'm going to say probably sooner than yours does. It's funny, I get knots on my eyeballs. And literally, I mean, I've been able to look in the mirror and see it, not where my pupil is, but in the white over towards the middle of my face. I'll start getting a knot when I get tired. And it's physical, it's mental, it's just exhaustion. But when I push myself too hard, it does. I start. It's like I feel a rock in my eye, and I'll go look in the mirror, and it's like, man, I got that knot. And Randy, I'm good because my body can tell me that, but I'll know. You know what? I could probably go home this afternoon and just climb in bed and go to sleep and sleep all night, and I've done that before. I've literally climbed in bed at about 4:30 in the evening and not woken up till 6:30 the next morning. But it's my body saying, look, you need to recover.
Yep.
And luckily my eyeballs are good. They'll start hurting. And I'm like, oh my God, I got something in my eye. Yeah. I got a sign saying, hey, you need to stop. So I do. I love that we're looking at mental health awareness, because if my eyes didn't do that, I may just keep pushing like, look, I'm just going to keep going. And it's not a good way to do it. Isaiah Jackson says, started my apprenticeship a few weeks ago in the greater Phoenix area. Love it so far. Thanks, Mr. Wakefield, for all you do. Applying to the union soon. Congratulations and good for you. Isaiah, I hope everything works out, and I hope you end up loving this trade as much as Randy and I do. Matt says, the automated cars in Phoenix are all over the place. Yeah, Vegas is going to be open up to it soon. And Amber says, Roger, the social media marketing work time today was approved. Thank you. So I get to stay just a little bit longer. I was supposed to jump out at 10:45, which is, not normal for me. But the good thing is Squirt can take it over for me. I can take it over for him when somebody pulls up. But I'm going to be, if y'all are interested in learning about social media, look at Social Media Marketing World on Facebook. I'm going to be jumping in there at about 5 minutes till 11. So Amber, thank you very much.
I'm going to say if they do automated cars opening up in Vegas, I wonder how the airport's going to look.
Oh, it's going to look wild.
Just because of what you said about how the automated car won't really pull out.
Yep.
That is going to be chaos at the beginning.
What hopefully they'll figure that out. You have to have quick. Balls to drive in Vegas.
That you do. There's so many cars in that, especially at the Uber Lyft pickup zone.
Oh, absolutely.
It's chaos.
Absolutely. All right. So affordable housing initiatives. We're talking about new construction here. Cities across the United States are increasing funding for affordable housing projects to combat the housing crisis. Now, Randy and I talk a lot about affordable housing, and a lot of it gets into pre-manufactured. And we don't mean pre-manufactured like you're thinking. We're thinking
like
modular remote built homes. And it's so funny because I've driven by a couple of Dutch brothers in the past few days. And every time I see them, I'm like, man, I know where y'all are built. I know how you do this. So I think that the modular thing is really, really good. And I love to see it getting into the residential, the houses. So new construction techniques, including 3D printing, which Randy talks about all the time, modular housing are helping to reduce cost. Guys, I mean, look at the robots doing the solar panels. If we can install solar panels 50% faster, why wouldn't we?
Yep.
I mean, just why wouldn't we? And if we can build modular homes 25% cheaper. Randy, you want to buy this house. If we build it here, it's $400,000. If we build it modular and ship it in, it's $300,000. Which way do you want to go?
Please ship it.
Yeah, please. Can you send it today? But I mean, it makes sense. So guys, we've got to start looking at what we can do to either realize all this, meaning, look, if I Randy, let's buy some robots. Let's start installing solar panels.
Well, I was going to say, even there, it's going to install faster. It's going to be available quicker because it's going to be able to be built in this set environment. But I also love these hybrid builds. Send out most of my home modular for the dense areas like the kitchens and bathrooms, things like that, and build out the rooms real quick and frame the whole thing out. It'll speed that process up. I can move in my home quicker, and that's great for the end user and the homeowners.
I love it. And Mark says big ups to you, gentlemen. Thank you. We love what we get to do, guys. I know TikTok, Instagram, y'all can hear me. You can't hear Squirt. If y'all like to hear both sides of the conversation, please jump over onto YouTube. If you do, let us know where you came from. Go to YouTube, search for the Trade Talks Live, and jump in. You can hear both sides of the conversations, but love to hear what y'all think. And Mark says, are these going to be prevailing wage projects? It probably depends on what state they're being built in or who's having them built. If it's a municipality or something like that, they may say, hey, we have to do this. If it's me and Randy building it, it's like, hey, we can build it for this. Nobody normally talks about prevailing wage unless it's on a government type project.
Yeah.
So probably not unless the government gets involved and says, hey, we want to help, the state of Nevada build 1,000 new homes this year. We're going to do it modular. We're going to invest in it. Then they could say, we want to make this a prevailing wage project. All right. So my thought, Randy, is what role can they play in helping address the affordable housing projects? Because we look at it, and I mean, we know what we charge. We couldn't build just a lot of introduction, cookie cutter, modular build type homes. And I don't mean they're built modular, but we couldn't do a bunch of the cookie cutter homes and make a good profit with what we pay our plumbers and whatnot. How can companies get involved in this and do good at it?
I'd say, honestly, probably exploring some of the innovative materials that are coming out nowadays. They're making them to where they last longer. It's a little cheaper to install, and there's a lot of cost savings with things. Also, advocating for streamlining the permitting process.
That's big.
Because like we were just talking about the green incentives also. Well, for this lower income housing, things like that, let's streamline that process a little better, but we do need to also inspect it and streamline that process also, I think, not just the permitting. Also working with some nonprofits that are focused on cost-effective housing. People that are trying to build this and put it more out into the world. These nonprofits are great, and man, they can actually keep you very busy too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anytime you can get involved with something like this, especially in the beginning. I mean, look at Beard. They've been out at TI for probably 75 years now. I mean, seriously, I was out there at the beginning of the year, and they've been out there 50 years. So they've been out at Beard's at TI for 75 years. So TI knows when they need something, they can go to Beard. Beard understands the Hill. They understand the way things are done. They understand the permitting process, just everything about it. So, get involved early. You can be the GOAT. It's not a bad position to have. Yeah. Okay, mindset growth. And I like this because construction projects normally don't go 100% like they're planned.
What?
Hey, I know. I was going to say, have you ever been on one that was just perfect? You walked on, they said, hey, this job will be done in 47 days. And, on day 13, you'll be done with this. On day 23, you'll be done with this. On day 26, you'll be done with this. And, you're going to work 40 hours a week every week. There's going to be no overtime. We're not going to have any material shortages. Everything will be delivered on time, installed on time. Nothing will get broken, need to be replaced. So this job is going to go 100% according to plan. Has that ever happened?
I would say never on a project, only honeydew projects, but they always go out of budget. So that doesn't count either.
Yeah. Honey, you want a new faucet? I got one. No. I want the more expensive faucet. Yeah.
That's right.
Budget's broke immediately. What I like about this, though, if you're, and this is what I love about being a service plumber, is the analytical mind. And it's really good because developing a problem-solving mindset is critical. if you're going to overcome supply chain delays, labor shortages, and client changes, anything like that, you've got to be able to stay mentally aware, and your mind has to constantly be working towards how do we fix this? How do we? You can't worry about it. It happened. It is what it is. If the general contractor walks up and says, "Hey, we're moving the ceiling up 1 foot, and you've got pipe all over the place below the floor," man, ain't no point in freaking out about it. It's not like, well, we just can't do it. We're going to tear it all out. No, we're not. We're going to look at this and figure it out.
Yep.
But you've got to understand that these are not really problems. They're opportunities, because your company now has the opportunity to make more money. You have already been paid to put it in per the original contract. Well, now anything moving forward, you're going to get paid to take it out and put it back in. So understanding that and not letting stuff like that panic you, you can give yourself about a minute. I think Tony Robbins says, I'll give myself 90 seconds to be like, look, man, I got a problem. And then it's like, okay, how do we fix it?
Yep.
And I love that, because when I was running workout at the airport, I'd tell my guys, look, if you run into a problem, I don't want you to just bring me the problem. You're already there looking at it. Come up with a solution. And that's the way I think. When I look at something, I mean, I don't care what it is. I can be looking at somebody talking about their business that's wanting to learn YouTube. And when I look at it and see a problem, I'm already thinking, well, how do we fix this problem? Now, the problem is I don't always do it with myself and my businesses, because I'm like, man, I got people in here. They'll take care of it. They'll do this. But when we got problems, we need to just breathe, look at the problem, and say, okay. But if you can develop that problem solving mindset, that analytical mindset, gee, we got a problem. How do we fix it? That's fantastic. And resilient leaders stay adaptable. They're able to maintain a forward thinking approach. You've got to think, man, I've got a problem right here, but you know what? You're still trying to get to the finish line. So you just look at this problem and say, okay, what's going to happen for me to still get to the finish line? Well, you have to proceed past this. You have to get beyond this problem. And if you've got to bring in more people to get caught up, that goes in your number. Am I missing anything, Squirt?
No, it takes me back to a mindset that I had to feed into my head really hard. And that was, look, they knocked me down 2 steps. Okay, what's the next step I got to take to get to where I'm wanting to be? Because if you keep taking those steps forward, there's going to come a point they can't knock you back 2 more steps, guys. You're going to already be ahead on steps, so you're not worried about going back those 2. Keep that forward thinking mindset going.
You bet.
It's huge.
And the good thing is, you understand this is going to happen. So anticipate problems. Understand, look, we know we're going to have an issue. I used to, whenever I hit a job in the beginning, I looked for a way to shortcut something. And I just mean using a SkyTrack to move pipe around instead of people. And I've done that and man, realized a couple of $100,000 in savings. But I didn't always give all that money back. I kept it in a hitty hole, and I hitted it way over here. But now if there's a problem that comes up, I'm like, you know what? I can work with this. But you've got to anticipate those setbacks and develop a contingency plan. And if you'll do that, that helps you focus on the outcome instead of the obstacle. And if you can do that, you're going to be amazing in this trade. David Briarworth came over from LinkedIn, or is on LinkedIn. David, thank you very much. Good to see you in here. And the good thing is, if you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, guys, I can see your comments and bring them up on the screen, give you a shout out and talk to you. Love to hear what you've got to say. Randy, talk to us about Leak Pro, will you?
Well, we want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks Live. They let us come in here and talk blue collar trades every day for an hour, Monday through Fridays. But Leak Pro builds the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And what I do is I build 2 different pieces of equipment, guys. I've got a probe, which is T-handle style here with a stainless steel rod, real durable, made for probing in and out of the ground. That's mainly for your meter to the home service. And then also what Dad's holding over there, we've got the Sidekick. And that's great for whenever you go into the home. That's got an aluminum rod on it. It's less dense metal than the stainless rod. So it kind of eliminates that layer of concrete whenever you're listening. And what I say when that one, it screams. But also, I do, if you don't know anything about leak detection, I've got a training center out here. I do a 2-day in-person training. I teach you how to locate lines out here. I've got 11 leaks under a slab. We go through, learn how to pinpoint locate those leaks. I've got one just outside of the slab itself, so you can understand what a grade leak sounds like also. But also in addition to that, I've got 2 sewer systems set up. I've got one out of cast iron and one out of PVC, where we teach you how to go from the double clean out outside of a home and isolate branch lines to isolate the lines so that you can pinpoint locate leaks on sewers also. If you want to check out the equipment or talk about training or anything, you can book me for a call at www.leak-pro.com. We can do a Zoom meeting there, or just give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and we can discuss the equipment or the training and how it can help you in your plumbing company.
Here's the neat thing. If you buy the complete kit and you come in for the training, you are a leak detector. By the time you leave here, you know how to isolate the lines. You know how to find the leaks. You know how to do everything that needs to be done. We also teach you how to find the leaks on the sewer, both cast iron and PVC. Isolate them. That way you can prove to people, hey, this is where your leak is. Or, hey, this is where your leak isn't. You walk away, you are a professionally trained leak detector. So it's a great thing. Like you said, go to www.leak-pro.com, check it out, or give him a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. Now, all trades. Universal tools that every tradesperson should own. And man, there's some good ones in here that you've got.
There are. Some surprised me, but it's fair enough. And I understand some, not for all trades though, I think. But no matter your trade, certain tools should be in every truck. First thing I'm going to say always is tape measuring device. But
wait a minute.
I suggest laser measuring.
Yeah, you're liking your new lasers.
Now, I'm going to tell you, whenever I was doing estimating and doing job walks to try to figure out a job, I had my digital rangefinder to be able to quickly, okay, how high is this ceiling? This is it. How big is this room? You can quickly check all those things. You don't have to run a tape measure everywhere and take the time of doing that. So it's a huge thing. Like I loved having that in my pocket. But a lot of the major picks, multi-tools, because I've got 2 all the time, a big one and a small one. I've got girls, so I got a small one that has scissors on it because kids just always need scissors for some reason. But multi-tools are huge. And I've used them on so many different job sites doing so many different things because it's always nice to have that little screwdriver in your pocket that you can open up and look behind something whenever you need to.
You know, look, and I reached down from my pocket. I actually pulled it out while ago. I carry a Leatherman with me almost every day. I know. Randy's always got
that one right there.
If we're not traveling somewhere, we've normally got them in our pocket.
That's it.
And I like that. It's got the vice grips on it. It's got a knife. I mean, it's got so many tools on it. I have literally gone into a job before, had my bucket there, but I pulled out my Leatherman when I got started and done the entire job with my Leatherman.
Yep.
And it's like, man, this tool pays for itself. So I do. I think that's fantastic. And when I saw that on your list, I saw that and I saw the laser measuring device. I'm like, yeah, I know what he's going to be talking about.
Another one, impact drivers.
Oh my gosh.
We all need impact drills. I mean, for I think pretty much every trade that's out there, you can use it for something. Even the painters use it to mix their paint.
If you've got a vehicle, you need an impact wrench.
That's it.
It's just seriously. And then heavy duty headlamps. I love the lights that, and Randy, I've invested a lot of money in these lights and even the little flashlights. And I like, of course, the brightest. And I've seen some that I think I could put up and light up downtown Wiley if I wanted to.
Yep. One of my favorite was just a little Energizer one. And it's funny because it could get wet, it could handle that, like just so many things. It was like, holy crap, just this little thing, but so handy. Like even on a normal sunny day and stuff, you step into a dark hole on a job site, throw your headlamp on real quick, you can see exactly what you're doing. It is so handy, especially looking in cabinets. When you hit a crawl space, it's a must-have for sure.
And another one that I think everybody should have, and me and Randy don't know how to use them. We figured this out in the past couple of days. It is a voltage meter. We're trying to do electrical work, and let's just say we've got a light fixture that it's taking us a little time here.
Yeah, it's got power. It's just not juicing. I don't know yet.
But we had a fan up there. It wasn't working. Now we put a light fixture up there. It ain't working. We're working on it though.
That's it. There's power getting to the wire. So, not sure. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
The must
Paul
have
says, go ahead.
Is a level.
Oh God, yes.
Guys, if you're going to put something in and you are an installer of any sort, have a level, because plumb, level, and square is a perfect world.
And I'm gonna throw in another one just because I was interviewed for a podcast yesterday, and the guy asked me a question. He says, "Roger, do you know what one tool electricians don't know how to use?"
The broom.
That's exactly what I said. I said, "Yeah,
Yep.
the broom." He said, "Oh my God, yeah."
Response, yeah.
He said, "Roger, I don't know why." He said, "Electricians do not clean up." I was like, "Oh, I know." I said, "Matter of fact, if I'm walking through a job and I see an electrical apprentice keeping his area clean, I'll tell him, you're smart enough to be a plumber. You should come to work with us." So anyway, Paul says, "Love the content here, gentlemen. Just took the aptitude test for local 130 plumbers in Chicago and turned in an application for local 597 pipe fitters."
All right.
There you go. Paul says, "I'm hoping to get back into union work. Used to do trenchless sewer repair in local 2. Use cure-in-place plastic, so the SIP product, to repair clay pipe from the rainwater catch basin to the main."
Nice.
We want to get a CIPP sponsor in here for sure. And Matt says Leatherman are legendary. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
they
another sponsor we need to work on right there. All right, so let's go down to laws and licenses, because staying updated with continuing education mandates, Texas has had CE for plumbers. I want to say, God, 25, 30 years. I want to say it was like 94 when it started.
Yeah.
So you think about it, that means basically I've been through 30 continuing education classes. Some states don't do it, but
Wait,
some states are starting to enforce it. Go ahead.
Did you just say that there was a time you had a license that you didn't have to do that?
Absolutely.
Woo!
Yes, indeed. But it's changed a lot.
It has. It has. And the key spot for this, guys, is for all of us. Check the dates on your licenses. Don't let them go out. It can cost serious money at times. And it's something that as tradespeople, we get so busy with all these jobs that we deal with. The date on that license or that certification or when you've got to do continuing education slips your mind. Pull it out and check it real quick. It's worth it. Are you checking yours now?
You know what I'm doing? I'm checking my HVAC license.
All right, good.
Just because I need to.
I was going to say, many states out there do require ongoing education to maintain your contractor and your trades license. If you're in a state where you've got to do this, make sure it's current, make sure it's update. Everybody check, just like him right now. He's checking. I'm going to have to check my apprentice card after I get off here just to make sure everything's still current. Online courses and trade association workshops help meet a lot of these requirements. I feel like you do a lot of your continuing education online now. to keep your yours current, because you're always traveling, so it's easy for you to knock out while you're actually traveling, which is pretty cool too. Uh, but also, failing to renew certifications can lead to fines or revoked licenses. You don't want your license to get revoked. You don't want to have to deal with any of those hoops to jump through to try to get it back. So get out there and check it. Make sure you're good and current.
I'm trying to look at it, and it's going to take me. I'm going to have to go deeper into it. Maybe not. There we go. So I found it. I'll check here in just a minute. But look, this is important because it's something that it can slip your mind. I don't do HVAC. I don't run an HVAC company. I don't have my tackle license. I'm just a certified HVAC technician. So I don't want to lose that.
Yep.
I'm never gonna use it. but I have that license, and look, I lost my cosmetology license. I lost my massage therapy license, but I didn't want to have to do continuing ed for stuff that I really wasn't doing at all.
Mhm.
So my HVAC certification, I'm like, you know what? I want to go ahead and check it out and do what needs to be done.
I was gonna say, one of the biggest tips here: set a calendar reminder. We've all got our phones with us all the time. Set a reminder in there so that you do know. Look at it a month ahead and go ahead and start working on your renewals or booking whatever you need.
Mm-hmm. Neat stuff. Okay, so let's go back to all this. These calendar reminders are big. It can keep you from losing your license. And I'll teach you a trick. If you're in Texas and you've got a plumbing license and you're getting close and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot get into the class. Go ahead and get online and pay your renewal fee. The reason being, if you expire and you've paid your fee, they're not going to charge you extra. But if you don't renew and you wait till afterwards, then you go take it. Then you've got to pay the fine for being late. Neat trick to know and remember. All right, we're going to get into business training here. And I'm going to get excited about this because growing your business and marketing your business on social media is a great thing to do. Look, YouTube has been amazing for me. TikTok, Instagram, all of them. But marketing a business, that's what I started out doing. So contractors use Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn are landing more jobs through organic marketing. And I will tell you this, on LinkedIn, the median salary is about $130,000, $140,000 a year. Hate to say this, TikTok, the median salary on TikTok is about $30,000 a year. So where do you want to be talking about your business if you're trying to bring in customers? So those are things to know. But an easy way to do that, and Randy's favorite, is the before and after products. Take a picture of a bathroom before you start and then do a complete remodel on it and then take a picture of it afterwards. Now, Randy and I both get sucked into the landscaping videos where the dude's just set up a camera and walks up, knocks on the door, says, hey man, your yard looks horrible. I'm going to mow it for you for free. And they're like, well, why would you do that? I mean, it's just what I do. So I pick a house every week, month, whatever, come around and do it. And I tell you what, you cannot turn that stuff off.
Yep.
You start watching it and it's like, oh my gosh, look what he did here. Look what he did here. But that's another great way to show your business. Set up a camera and video it. Do a time-lapse video. Hey, we changed out a toilet today, guys. Did a time-lapse video just to show you what all we did. You can slow down on the intricate parts or whatever you want to do. But a lot of people use hashtag strategies. I don't like hashtags. I used to use them, but my thought process is YouTube wants one thing from me, to keep people on YouTube. TikTok and Instagram want one thing from their people, keep people on that platform. If I'm making a hashtag, as soon as somebody clicks it, it takes them somewhere else. So I don't use hashtags, but a lot of people do hashtag strategies, but also local geotags can help you reach potential customers. And if you're doing things like this on a regular basis, guys, your business is going to grow because more people are going to see you and see what you do.
Yeah, I was going to say some of the most important things: post consistency, is huge. That's what helps everything go. Oh, they're staying consistent, but they're talking about this a whole lot. Oh, somebody is curious about this. Hey, let's send this to them. And that's how social media kind of works and the algorithms.
Hmm.
But plug algorithm with the viewer because it's what they're actually interested in. And that's what everything is actually trying to serve up. Showcase your high quality work. Some I loved. I wish I would have had phones the way that we do now back
yeah.
whenever I did my trade because I loved some of the work I did, and it's just artwork whenever you get done with a full mechanical room. When you've got a couple boilers in there, you've got chillers, you've got pumps everywhere, you've got all this stuff packed in this little bitty space, and it looks beautiful, and you can actually access everything. To be able to show off work like that, it's great, and it makes more people appreciate what you do and become more interested in what you are doing also.
And here's the thing on that, guys. If you're somebody that takes pride in your work, you take the time, like we were talking about yesterday, turn your letters where they're all turned straight up. They're all facing the same direction. If you're hanging pipe overhead, turn the letters down where an inspector, anybody can just walk through and see it. They don't have to go looking for it to see what type pipe it is or anything at all like that. If you're that kind of person that you take pride in your work, man, don't be afraid to show people what you do. I've literally hired people based on posts that I saw that they did on social media. They'd come in and talk to me, and I'm like, look, I've seen what you do on social media. I like the way you work. Guys, that's an amazing thing that can help you keep money in your pocket. So, something worth doing. All right, vehicles. Now, we've worked at one of the largest mechanical contractors in Dallas, and they have nice vehicles. They have good insurance, but they also take time to teach you. I remember when they set up the policy of having cones in your vehicle. You had to have you had to set out a cone in front of it and behind it because they wanted to make sure that you looked around your vehicle before you drove off because so many people were just getting in, backing up and hitting the car behind them. They're like, well, I had no idea it was so close. Well, then they put in the new the backup cameras, and I think they were putting those in every vehicle. And I tell you the one that I like the one that you're driving down the road and your rear view mirror is really a camera.
Yeah.
I think those are so cool. But go ahead and talk about construction vehicle accidents.
Man, construction vehicle accidents accounts for a large percentage of job site injuries, and it happens a lot. There's I've seen so many different things. A lot of it's just dumb things too. Okay, just pop knocking out windows, somebody pulling out whenever they shouldn't, not paying attention, not checking around the vehicle, things like you were just saying. Distracted driving, overloaded trucks, and blind spots create major risk here. Uh, a lot of companies go to the GPS tracking and telematic systems to help monitor and improve the driver safety. They started rolling that out as I ended up transferring into the office and getting rid of my work vehicle. But avoiding accidents in work trucks sometimes can be a major challenge because there's some drivers out there that are trying to get in an accident with a commercial vehicle. I've had it firsthand. I had an apprentice in the truck with me that it blew his mind at how crazy this lady was trying to drive to get us to cause an accident with her somehow, some way. Luckily, I'm smart in my driving and I know how to stay away from people. Lots of go-kart driving whenever I was a kid, I guess.
There you go.
But it can be crazy out there. Having cameras and stuff is huge now on vehicles. That way you have proof of concept, what actually happened, things like that. But check your blind spots. That's big. I love the reverse camera that you were saying, the rear view mirror that's always just your camera of what's behind you, what's going on. Especially in vans. Vans are tough because you are limited to what you can see. So have the multiple mirrors, kind of like I've got on my truck. I've got a couple different mirrors that show me different angles.
Yep.
So I can actually kind of check my blind spots for the most part just with my mirrors. And that goes a long way. It's really helpful.
And but there's just so many good things about it. But remember I told you about the cones because failing to check your backup, failing to look behind you, these cause a lot of accidents. And I like that you've got the mirrors. I've got them too. My sister has the same truck I do. Hers extend out because she pulls a trailer.
Yep.
And having that is great because now you can make the wider turns if you need to, that and not run over the curb or hit anybody standing on the curb. So there's so many different things that you can do. But also, if you're a company owner, you want to be able to track your vehicles because this is going to help you understand which guys do you have that are speeding, which guys do you have that are just hanging out at the supply house for an hour and a half. And not that we've never seen it. So
sometimes you get stuck there that long because it's that busy.
And maybe once,
but
maybe
you got
once
to
a
know
month,
that's it.
once a quarter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you go to the
Not
supply house
daily.
and you're there an hour and a half every day, it's like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Are you not smart enough to call your order in? And are you not smart enough to just pull in, pick it up, and get out? So different ways to look at it. If you're on TikTok, Instagram, love to hear your thoughts on it. If you want to jump over to YouTube, go to the Trade Talks Live. Love to hear what you've got to say. And here's the deal. I'm going to let you talk about social media in a minute. I want to go ahead and jump into some questions. First of all, Matt McDonough says, hey, do I need to come down and help y'all? I'm assuming he means with the electrical. I bet your fixture has an open neutral. Yeah, but Matt, we took down an old ceiling fan and installed a new light fixture, and neither one of them are working. So I'm trying to get Randy to put the wires on his tongue and see if they're really hot. The voltmeter says they are, but
let me go try that.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. Questions says Irving 1K says, will the trades be oversaturated? And I'm going to break this down and go through it in different ways. But Irving, no. I was on Dr. Phil, almost 9 months ago, something like that. It was June. And the one thing we talked about was there's 1 million unfilled jobs in the trade today. 1 million. In 3 years, he said the research they've done says it'll be 4 to 5 million. And I want you to think about that. There's 4 to 5 million unfilled trades jobs. And unfortunately, our counselors, our principals, our teachers, our parents, our aunts and uncles are still telling kids, if you don't go to college, you'll never amount to anything. And as you can tell, I'm up on my soapbox right now. Guys, we got to quit telling kids that because nobody wants to get in the trades, and they can make more money in the trades than most of them can ever make going to college. Now, will it be oversaturated? No, we need people bad. It says AI causing mass layoffs in other fields, thus people coming into the trades because it's bulletproof. That's what we need.
Come on in.
I don't care how many AI jobs get taken over. If every one of those people got into the trades, we still would not have enough. We need to be in elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools promoting the trades, saying, hey guys, look, y'all need to get in here. It's something you need to do. And I think that it's going to make America better because we'll have people that are more mechanically inclined, can do more things at home, take care of bigger problems, and they learn to work like a tradesman and think like a tradesman, and they don't worry about things. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I'm going to give you just about enough time to go through the social media, and then don't forget to talk about Leak Pro again.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and then I'm going to get out of here because I've got to go speak at the Social Media Marketing World event. And Squirt, thank you so much. I mean, great information today. I love this. I love doing this, not just for our people, but love doing this with you. So thank you very much. I'll let you finish up talking about Chris HVAC on YouTube and TikTok. You have fun, and I will holler at you here after a while.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Squirt.
All right, guys. Moving on to social media spotlight, HVAC edition. We've got at Chris HVAC on YouTube and TikTok. And Chris provides hands-on HVAC tutorials, breakdowns of system failures, and pro service tips. And guys, we all like to get better at our trade. We've all seen some things that not everybody's seen, and we've all run into some things that we've never seen before. Get out there and check socials, man. a lot of problems and issues are out there for you to learn from. And checking out people like this is huge. His content helps both new and experienced HVA techs improve their skills. So it's just kind of like we do on our channels, start from the bottom and the top. You don't want to just hold to one or the other. You want to kind of cover a broad variety of everything so that people are learning at all levels, and that'll take you a long way. His detailed repair videos are great for real world problem solving. And like I was saying, if you're running into something that you've never seen before, check on socials. There's probably something there. I've ran into some weird situations before where back whenever my time, you would have to make a bunch of phone calls to different guys to figure out what they've actually got going on. Some of the recent highlights, he's done some videos how to diagnose a no heat furnace call in under 10 minutes. So if you're a service tech, that could be a really good one for you. Why you should always use a micron gauge for vacuuming systems down. Part of the refrigerant side of the world, and then the testing side. I used to braze a bunch of the liquid and suction lines for HVAC systems on large projects. He does the number one mistake HVAC techs make on service calls. So guys, if you're out there and you're actually dealing with service and doing things like that, this is very beneficial because we all deal with those frustrating customers sometimes, and hear everybody else's tips on the matters can take you a long way also. But guys, honestly, if you're out there, you do a trade and you're not on socials yet, start putting some simple videos out. Just little things that you do on a normal day-to-day basis. How to use different tools, your tool reviews, just different things. Putting anything out there is the best way to start for sure. I noticed we had a few comments come in. Matt was saying that that's how he felt about his emissions license. I'm sure that's probably letting one go that you're not dealing with anymore whatsoever. Irving 1K, my state is currently trying to flood the market with apprentices by changing the ratio of journeymen to each apprentice. This only benefits the big companies to have a steady stream of cheap labor. I understand that a lot. One thing I do recall a lot from my apprenticeship, whenever I started my 5-year apprenticeship, we started with 32 people. 5 years later, I graduated with 6, and that was it. Lots of things happen through apprenticeship. Some people are made for it, some people aren't. You're going to find out if that's the right trade for you. A lot of those apprentices that I did drop from the pipe fitting side went over to do other trades. Some went to electrical, things like that, because everybody's a little different. I like that they're going to flood the market because we need more people in. The ratios, that's kind of tough. As long as they're actually getting the proper training, though, the ratio should be fine as long as they're getting the proper training and somebody is keeping an eye on them. I learned that a long time ago. They were like, look, an apprentice must work under the direct supervision of a journeyman. How do you listen to that? Do they need to be watching you the whole time over your shoulder? Do they need to be in the area? Do they need to check on you occasionally? So keep some of these things in mind and check that out. Matt McDonough was telling old man to have fun. Amber says, I'm the best. Yeah, I do have Jameson back there. It's always Thirsty Thursday here at the outhouse. And that's pretty typical. We've got St. Patty's coming up soon. But we do want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. Lets me and the old man come hang out here and talk blue collar trades for an hour every day, 10 a.m. Central, Monday through Fridays. Leak Pro does build the best leak detection system for professional plumbers. And it's simple, easy to use. You've got the equipment, one wire up to the headphones. The only adjustment on the whole system is the volume knob. You've got an on-off button so that you're not rattling your brain. So if you want to learn some about leak detection, and check out our equipment, you can visit www.leak-pro.com, or you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and we can talk about the equipment but I also do offer in-person training. If you don't know anything about leak detection, definitely reach out and give me a call. Everybody, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Hope to see you back here tomorrow for Friday. Get out there and hit it effing hard. Thanks, guys. Bye.